I don't know when the woke are finally going to learn, man. They just keep blowing through reminder after reminder after reminder. But I don't know when they're finally going to get it. You can never, ever be woke enough. I mean, they created the mob, and they still somehow, even with all the chants of Genocide Joe, all the friendly fire at all these campaign events, they still have not figured out that you cannot control the crazies, even if you're the one that created them. And Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, poor lady, one of our favorites, hero of the left, virtue signaler extraordinaire, she's not immune. And the crazies, unfortunately, have come from Michigan. And it's unfortunate, man. Michigan is a beautiful place. Good Midwestern people, but no place is immune from the woke revolution. And we've got chants of death to America in Dearborn, Michigan. And you got terror-supporting anti-Semitic crazies taking over parts of campus and terrorizing Jewish students. But before I show you the crazies turning on the governor herself, I do want to show you that all is not lost. There are still some good and decent people willing to stand up for themselves when their government and their school administrators refuse to do it for them.
You feel good about that?
Yeah, can I help you?
Can I help you? You just tore down that poster.
Oh, is it your property?
Why'd you tear down that poster?
Because you're supporting terrorists, so I hope you tell all your people you're supporting a U.S. designated terrorist
Are
organization.
you threatening me right now?
I'm not threatening you. I'm simply
But you
saying
just
the
tore
facts.
down a poster.
Yeah, and I do them all again. You kill my people, you have no right to put this information on my school. Are you a student here?
Are you?
I am.
Great.
Yeah.
You want to give me your name?
No, I have no reason to.
But you feel entitled to tear down other people's posters.
I have the right to. This is public property. You have no right
And
to
you-
camp on the middle of our
Didn't you
grounds.
just say it's public property?
It is.
Okay. So that sounds like a contradiction.
No.
Are you graduating?
Yeah, it's not your business.
You come, you tear
Is
down
this
posters.
going on Al Jazeera? Or Safe Instagram? Or another one
You
of
tell-
your propaganda
Why don't you
sites?
tell me where you want it? Why don't you tell me where you want it? Where would
Where
you
I
like
want
this? Where do you want this
I hope you
posted?
put it everywhere, because I hope all your people know you're supporting terrorists, you're supporting the genocide of Jews, you're supporting raping women, you're supporting killing babies and putting them in ovens. You're just like Hitler. I hope all of you know that. What you're doing is shameful. Shameful. So distribute that everywhere, because you people deserve to know the facts, that you're manipulated by some terrorists overseas. So I hope whoever's funding you stops it. And I hope they get rid of you like they did at Columbia and Texas.
That's a good young man. And he tried to disengage from her, man, but she kept pushing. She kept pushing. You know, he called her out for making propaganda, taking video of him as propaganda. She basically said she was going to blast him all over the internet. She said, "Where do you want it? Where do you want me to post it?" And he snaps. He says, "I hope you put it everywhere. I hope everyone sees it. Everyone needs to see that you support terrorists. You support the genocide of Jews. You support sexual violence. You support the killing of babies. You people are no different than Hitler. And what you're doing is shameful." And this kid nailed it. This kid is everything that is good about America, still good about America. And he's completely willing to stand up to everything that seems wrong with America. And you know, what I didn't catch when I first saw this was her interest in whether or not he was graduating. But now we know why she was asking that. These people had a plan all along.
A day to celebrate the achievements of University of Michigan graduates disrupted by pro-Palestinian protesters.
We will not stop, we will not rest.
It's the most recent instance of a protest movement that has swept across campuses nationwide in recent weeks.
It's something on the University of Michigan campus we have been following for weeks. Weeks ago, students set up an encampment on campus to protest the war in the Middle East. We showed you this scene from last night at the School of Music, Theater, and Dance, their commencement ceremony. Police broke up a large group of protesters there at Hill Auditorium. It seems like that was a sign for things to come, because today protesters made their voices heard in the Big House. A group of students stood up during commencement and began chanting and holding up signs. Jacqueline Franson spent the day on campus, and she joins us now with more.
The Diag on campus has been home base for the pro-Palestinian protesters. You can see the encampment behind me, but earlier they took their chance to the big house.
Good morning. Welcome to the 2024 commencement.
It was a day they waited and worked for.
And all the final exams finally paid off.
One of honor and prestige, graduation at the University of Michigan.
To the indomitable class of 2024, you did it. Congratulations.
With the pomp and circumstance came protest.
Disclose! Divest! We will not stop! We will not rest!
About 50 graduates calling for the university to divest from companies with ties to Israel. The pro-Palestinian protest a response to the ongoing conflict in Gaza and Israel. Above the big house, a banner in support of Israel reading "All Jewish Lives Matter." While the protesting students didn't want to talk on camera, their signs and chants conveyed their message. Police and faculty were prepared for this, helping to minimize the disruption while allowing the right for peaceful protest.
I think it was handled absolutely, well.
The crowd and fellow graduates had a mixed reaction.
I can't even hear what's going on with the graduation with this going on, I mean, a lot of these people, their senior year of high school, their graduation was during COVID. So they already had that ruined. And then now you got this going on too. I mean, it's like, give these people a break.
They have the right to protest.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
The university confirms there were no arrests during the commencement ceremony, and they told us they're happy with how everything went, wanting the focus to remain on the graduates and their achievements. Reporting from the University of Michigan campus, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Of course there was no arrests. I mean, why would there be arrests? Why would they arrest those people? If they had red hats and they were screaming about whatever it is they think MAGA cult members will be screaming about, they would have been arrested freaking immediately. They'd still be sitting in jail somewhere. And like the kid in the first clip said, it is freaking shameful, man. And you got to feel for these graduates. One of the young guys they interviewed there, he had a really good point. A lot of these kids didn't get a high school graduation either because of the pandemic. And now this, man, what a wild world these young people have had to navigate, man. I mean, when you think about all the little things just individually, it's crazy. But here's what I kept thinking about. I imagine being those parents. Michigan is not a cheap school, even for in-state people. And can you imagine showing up to your kid's school and the beautiful Diag that they've told you so much about, the big house, which is a football stadium? None of these places are safe from these crazy, crazy protesters, and literally no place is safe. I mean, no one is safe. One of those parents apparently was Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, and honestly, it couldn't happen to a nicer person.
Genocide! How do you justify genocide? How do you justify genocide? How do you sleep at night?
Genocide. How do you justify?
What are you doing about Palestinian children?
I appreciate.
What are you doing about Palestinian students at the U of M?
I appreciate you raising your voice. I'm here to have a graduation meal with my daughter.
How do you? What about all of the children that are in mass graves? What about them?
Justify genocide.
Yeah, are you doing anything about?
I mean, to answer the question, she sleeps like all evil people sleep, probably on a bed of rusty nails or something like that. And to answer the other question, what is she doing about Palestine? Absolutely freaking nothing. And she wouldn't do anything for them even if she could. But what do these wacky young people, what do these protesters even think that she can do? What do they think the governor of freaking Michigan can do to affect a war on the other side of the world being waged by a country defending itself from terrorists? I mean, what kind of magic do these people think politicians have? I mean, they give Joe Biden the same nonsense and they just don't get it, man. Aside from being a completely spineless coward and stopping the shipment of armaments and bullets, which is what he's doing now to Israel. Freaking, I still can't believe that he's done it and the news is barely covering it. Other than that, I mean, the guy has no power. The only world leaders that will listen to anything that Joe Biden has to say are the world leaders that are a part of his money laundering operation, allegedly. I mean, that's it. Nobody will listen to this guy. He has no power. He has no juice. Nobody cares what Joe Biden's got to say. They're not going to listen to him. But anyway, this video is not about Joe Biden. This is about the crazy people who seem to not even understand their own cause, man. Or they definitely don't understand the words they chant. Actually, they do understand. They know exactly what they're doing. But You know, they're ruining graduation for Michigan families and families all over the country at all kinds of different universities. And they're turning on their own. They're turning on their own in Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Joe Biden and all that. And, you know, just like Joe Biden, Gretchen Whitmer, she just sits there and she takes it because these people never learn. You know, once you create the crazies, you're never going to control them. And you can never, ever, ever be woke enough. I don't know when they're going to learn this lesson, but that's just my take, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you haven't already, be a part of our growth. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. I'll see you in the next one.